Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Good morning. Beautiful day, September 6th, 2022. September 6th, 2022. Salon people, we quietly don't they observe exactly what's don't they happen with the registration process. These are very sad times for with democracy. But one thing where we know, Salon people, they're very resilient. Salon people, are very strong. Salon people, are very determined. And that is why we deny with a call for say, what we need now, Salon, a proper leadership. We just need good leaders. Them. We need leaders that we're not they in love with money and their own selfish ambitions. We need leaders that we really care about the citizenry. Leaders that care about the country, about the future, about the generations yet unborn. The kind of a foundation they were for lay for we people. And those are the kinds of leaders we're looking for in Sierra Leone Delegate today. Some people we don't see how we people in the wake 3 o'clock morning. Matter of fact, some people they wake 3 o'clock morning just for go to the registration center, they forgot register. Then go did it from there hour and the guy then will take them time, the neck people them and the NCRA people them we also come join. Where we not saying that we can focus on for talk about the fact that the NCRA not supposed and should not be a part of the registration process. That not the thing. Then this one we fought against. On a see the other day, Comrade come out to put out a message where we do back in June or July, where he share with una when the honorable members of parliament they become the and join we and we make them very clear. They make them very clear for say the NACRA registration process enough for include NACRA and this with NEC registration process. Yeah, so people have for go online and register easily, freely, and go back about their business without spending hours on end. Just for register, and we get placed them across the country where people they go there all day for the past 2 days. They never for register them because the people are not even candy. The NEC registration people, no the candy. The one day we for come for register, not the candy. But we've been saying all on anything there, Salon people. I don't talk anything there. We not say now we can put messages out there. If we not come and do another audio safe, we could just say everything until we're about to say, but again from a different angle, from a different spin. So with me today, of course, I have Comrade Koita, I get Cashbox, I get the African Express with me. Hopefully people's power will join me. We not say the mind self is busy. When the area the mind will do audio, they do other audio safe in our corner. When I not say, these are desperate times. But Salon people, we want to take one back. You see, history is everything we deal with delicate today. You see, the SLPP then go to bush because now the SLPP go to bush. Ali Kaba and all these guys go to the Mataba, na Libya. We don't see them. We read the confessions of Charles Tillon at the International Criminal Court, the Hague. Anyway, Ali Kaba then go to Libya, they say what's in and go fight against oppression and suppression, of the people, their rights are being violated, no free speech, no rights to protest, all kinds of things, poor healthcare. Then go all in here. And Ali Kaba say that's why they formed the RAF. But then these guys are free. You look at the history of the Albert Magai, 1963 to 1967, well, from 1964 to 1967, more or less. We then come and destroy with democracy. We get the rebel war in the first place because that then sow the seed. They sow the foundations for Usai we be go for 10 years when they hack people, them cut their neck, cut their hand, cut their foot, chop belly, woman belly, pleat open, hack you. Then they argue if na boy picking or girl picking. All of those things happen inside we country. We see them for we serve. These guys are free and they pass up and down and they up and down and they back in governance day like today. That is why they get mind for continue for doing kind of when they do so against with people. Then they go against with people and voter rights, the voters' rights, the basics. For now, register no more, I need to suppress we so. The same thing, so they accuse the APC of back. They say, hey, Chaka Stevens, they want rogue election. Momobi want rogue election. I mean, make the NPRC overthrow. When my building can make overthrow the government of former President Joseph Saidu Momo. They say, they want for rig the elections. They want for they suppress with people in the south. Let them not register. Then they go make the young people in the northern part of the country register. All kind of things and talk. At the history, the day, the video, they are going to share them video they with you now. So some people, but this is why we come now for can say, waiting be happen, not for happen again at a time like this in the 24th century. Thank God for the international community. They all ending out and they watch and see what's in the happen. Let history not repeat itself again in our country. Salon people are not for struggle and suffer. So the leaders, them, the members of parliament get a responsibility. And also a lot of una they hear me voice. The fool begin say, Ibrahim, they can talk about the members of parliament. Oh yes, we're going to talk about these members of parliament. You now understand this. The parliament is the supreme legislative authority. The parliament gets power past the office of the president. It gets power past the judiciary. The parliament for supervise them two agencies, then two arms of government there. Because don't forget that 3 arms of government we get. The executive, the parliament, whether the legislature, and the judiciary. Those three, in as much as they are independent of each other, but now the parliament get the power for question the president. Now the parliament get the power for question the judiciary. Then like today, if watching the episode, the parliament get the power for question Mohamed Kanel Wekone. We're on a NEC electoral commissioner. Mohamed Kanel Wekone, the NEC was an established institution by an enactment of parliament. Now, parliament, now they make law, we make NEC day in existence. The very existence of NEC, now because of parliament. When I see how parliament important, we're not going to understand Salon people until every citizen in Sierra Leone understand this number one civic education, one-on-one, that parliament, that they get the power for make sure they protect the democracy. Then another blow, we know the tire, and we'll continue this fight and this push until every Sierra Leonean understand this and understand the constitutional rights and duties and powers of the parliament when they get. That is why we continue to talk about parliament. You know, Comrade Kocha, not hold the floor too long now. You know, go ahead and tell family I do, and we'll go bring in cash box, and then we African Express go come in and we'll go take this conversation to another level.
Thank you so much, Ibrahim. You know, as you talk, always say history. If I allow the mind, that make them this year. We patiently pull the audio been do on the first for remind people that are voting the African Express don't talk who do not platform who talk about this bill where then one comes we don't come force rigging the start, not pulling the rigging the start from registration and the pattern who expose the PR. Or talk about the NI number with the NCR we didn't include the. Remember, if you can remember, 2 years back, we didn't do this NCRA. We talk on platform. In fact, like Cashbox said that, and they say they must use this NCRA for pull voter registration day. Now, don't establish the fact. Say, in fact, they don't delete all the old system. Then they use this NCRA because they want to try for justify the census and do all of the bad things. Them. But let me tell you something. You see, members of parliament, time in, time out, don't tell people, and say, the social media, who they talk so one day when they judge you by them audios what they do because the audio they do it get for tell on the people of Sierra Leone either in a positive or in a negative way. That means who can not make party. Who can say the truth to identify ourselves because we are like-minded people them. Now we could come together and consistently we don't deal at this platform. They expose things them. Not to say why expose for just for point out things them. Who feel say them for take what them for do the responsibility. Ibrahim the executive get responsibility. You said get a the parliament get a union. But the parliament has this talk. I don't quote and say that they supervise and they do checks and balances. Not to believe the government. They not suspend the constitution because for saying constitution has been suspended. No, and they do checks and balances. We don't see now consistently then they fail. But today with me, question why they get for African Express Ibrahim before maybe Cashbox say okay. We don't deal with the top of corruption. We don't expose so many corruption them. But we don't see this election. We don't see the highest corruption under this regime. Mind you, the Auditor General from where they suspend that TTD, Parliament no agree for tell you why they suspend them. TTD. And consistently for 4 years, just the African president release you in a whole topic for itself. But you know the corruption we then create in this election, Ibrahim are the worst. For let them tell you say government don't tell you say but need day for make election. President Bill don't talk as the first president who don't show date, he don't finance for election, then they say equipment not day. But before I ask that question, I can come in first.
Come on, interestingly when you talk about the NCRA, so now waiting. NCRA they use for do their registration. Is it paper or computer?
Na computer.
Thank you. So with a grumble that one angle say we not get enough computer. So in other words, 2 computers them waiting for use the other side them. That 15 days there for them be 30 days. Not only they take away the 15 days, so this computer where NCRA they use. It could have well been used for waiting for the registration. So we don't even need for split these 15 days. Come in, Ibrahim and African Express channel. You see, Salon people have not only they reduce them to 15 days. For me, as far as I'm concerned, this now 7.5 days people they use for register. Why I say so? Because the time where NCRA they take first don't cut half of that 15 days day. Salon people have like waiting comrade, you just say one day, Salon man they go judge we. We don't the last time we talk now say Salon people have not allow let we sing powder 10 tell it. It just like we sing powder 10 tell it last week we comrade pull out an extract of like one of we audio that we do July the 1st. Where Honorable Abdul Kago tell we say like this thing that they use them for like part of for form the register. And also Ibrahim Chino and comrade. One crucial thing there where me and somebody be the talk just now, where they tell me say the constitution with NEC, because NEC pull a statement where they tell people and say they self don't admit say there are issues. But you know what? The government can tell we say no sign on the wall. I'm gonna tell you, this government is so calculative in the way where they fool people in. I guarantee you the government can tell we say no sign on the wall, no the way smooth process they go they happen. And we now self-inflicted. Now, NEC don't come, ECSL don't come, openly tell we say that they try to deal with the issues there. And all the issues that they deal with so delicate today, now issues them where we be not raised. And the reason why we are in this space, now for make we kind of like get information and also analyze information to people that we're supposed for make decision on we behalf. All of these things somebody they face so delicate today, now things the way we don't talk. Where have these guys been? Why they think they don't look into it before? Now only when the process they go on 2.5 days, 2 days now, or 3 days, then they tell we otherwise. The thing where we get right now, Ibrahim, why make NEC the quote the 1991 Constitution? This thing when we go past, because the 1991 Constitution don't ever talk about NI. But anyway, that NI number, man left NI because I think this is exactly what I believe say we can talk about.
Yeah, General, you know today the before the two me get you was asking me the same I want to ask you first because I see post on corruption of NEC. The first question I ask you, waiting. Now, how you get for know about this corruption will not be know because we the focus on an election. Where you can make no see, then don't in fact a huge money they spend, we make the table say they know your computers. Please, because one let you can explain to because now you don't they do them say they would for propagate. The way they get information now here, then I got sabi and the system will tell you thank you for letting you hold salon to this level today. People in the field now say for go take their money in the bank. So how you come about for exposes government in this because of wickedness, let them tell you money the way them don't give huge money over how many $1 million going to the Afghan special release.
Yeah. In the first place, I want to thank Una very much for the wonderful job we Una don't do over time and across time. That said, if anything, as Cashbox been a note now just now, if nothing else, the people of Sierra Leone owe the platform. I mean, Ibrahim, Cashbox, and Comrade Koita, and by extension also People's Power, some commendation, some praise, because for a number of years now, I would say almost in the course of the last 2 years, when I don't point at the real problem in the saloon, and that problem got to do with the politics at the level of Parliament. And what you will see in the last 72 hours, the last 3 days, beginning September 3rd, September 4th, September 5th, it got to do with the outcome, the result of what we are going to talk about all these 2 years. And most especially what we want to talk about in the last 2 to 3 months. If people remember, I believe that people still remember that this platform that they will first highlight the facts, the members of parliament, and that include opposition members of parliament from APC, NGC, C4C, together with the SLPP, they try for pass a secret law where we've been called the Public Elections Bill, we don't become the Public Elections Act of 2022. We've been talking, say, the reason we make them decide to change the election law, the law that we provide how for organized election. How for organized election mean how for register, how for vote, whether in a constituency or in a proportional representation. What you make them carry that, them they try to make that law day. Now because when you check the law, you check what in the inside. You find out say I've been deliberate intention, a plan they've been planned for making them give Madabio second term. Basically, the members of parliament don't want to make Madabio left power 2028. Left power means say Lekuna want the whole country want to vote against Madabio. We members of parliament no want to make that happen. And we be not telling the reason. Some of the reason, if you check now the APC, some of the reason are because some of the APC members in the parliament, then don't overthrow. Now they overthrow the old leadership of the APC for making them they in charge. And they not do on the then decide to use the court and the government for help them Mother Bill, help them for making them do that, so that in exchange themselves go allow Mother Bill might continue. So their own chance for become president in their own thinking, in their own imagination, it could be possible in 2020 because that's how the people are in the Fed right now at the party, they not go succeed for beat Mother Bill. And one way for succeed for do that, then develop two technique, two pattern, and then go with two technique, two style. We say one method, because Mother Bill don't find out, say, if she organize free and fair election, it allow everybody in the country we qualify for vote, it register, then go vote. Wallahi, everybody right now go say they wait for the election, so they wait for we vote. The government don't hear that. Una MPs, they una members of parliament, the honorable then, most of them don't hear that one day. And plenty of them know they suffer like how they suffer. They know they even suffer safe. Many of them, they will tell you that this police, they beat we police, they make so, but many of the members of parliament, they know they suffer right now. They not only know they suffer right now, March, April, they add for themselves more benefit. They even talk, say they don't pass law for themselves. We say any member of parliament waiting at parliament now, or if we don't left parliament, if you're sick, some of the benefit the way they make for themselves, for fly them, go outside the country, for go get hospital, for go make doctor go mend them. So the member of parliament then they sit down with Mother Bill, agree on two basic principles. Then say how for give Mother Bill second term. Then say now we don't know say people that no one for vote, especially na Freetown, na Makeni, na Putloko, na Cambia, Bamoeluma. You work at the Tego Karina, Falaba, Maburka, all over Tonkoli, the Tego Sama, Bendugu, Mashingbi, Makali, and Mile 91. If you check, most of the people are there. Mile 91 said and kill that man, and Makeni and Lunsar said and kill people there. Right. All the one and they. If you then say they put vote right now, then put empty ballot box, then put Mother Bill face and go vote for the empty ballot box because they don't tire. So Mother Bill don't know this. Mother Bill minister, they don't know her. The SLPP don't know that. The MP, members of parliament, we don't decide, say, then self one for take over power after we Mother Bill come out and say, okay, power, what help you? How for help you? Will they make law where we say this law will they make? We will make it difficult for make them we support her na Lonsar, na Putloko, na Cambia, na Romukeni, and Babulka, and that's how they. So one way for help you, for make law, with that law they go counter, for make them go register, it go difficult pass for take camel, pass inside needle in the eye. So they decide now, how for do it? They say, for make sure, say, now who they register. Anybody will not get NCRA. You know, be not register with NCRA, NACRA. You no go able for a vote. So for make that day, we for add say all man forget number. We they call national identification number. If you don't get that number, you can't vote. They don't go say go take the number first. And that been inside the law. So we been looking at when we find out, and then we want pass this law away, nobody don't know. Now we will investigate, we go see the document. The document we done in the parliament from May. They don't print that document from April. May. We don't know see the law, they don't can go the document at parliament. Parliament be the wait. In fact, to make them pass that law, some of the politicians they cause all kind halala in the country. With police and they don't come together. They make police they beat people and they big so we all be the focus on police. We police they beat people and police arrest people and will not be so that we dip and they tell them pass the law. Now inside that one day, now they will be go see the document, we read them, we see the secret where they want to make law because nobody know they organize the election without law. The law now they show how you organize the election. If they want to change how we the vote trade, how we the organize election trade, they want to make this kind of pattern, they can forget law for do that. So they want to pass the law, no, that they will pull the document, bring out. Remember from what we can at the platform now, we tell you say Mother Bill and the members of parliament they don't sell the country, they don't sell power, give Mother Bill, they begin cost we, mommy cost now, all kind of cost them. They begin Lego, begin tell we say that lie with the line and this and that. In fact, what some of the members of parliament come to that this platform, if I remember, July 1. That I think 3 days or 2 days after we be now first talk about the talk. Then can't deny. They say no. Then they against the in fact the SLPP people they say no, we want the NIN pre-legislative stage. In fact, then the NIN they swear all kinds swear. Then go begin hold Tamatescope meeting all over the lie like you and say they know they mean well. But still we know say that lie them in the lie. That lie them in the lie. So we decide say with the whole meeting, we call people and say, look, Parliament, we shape all the parliamentarian Abbas Bundu phone number we give una. Una say una call her. Una call una parliamentary leader. Una call una MPs there. Elman big phone call, text message, voice message. We fed it take Parliament almost 2 months. Then try all kind of way. The members will forget. We say no, we don't really forget. Every morning we look there. Every Sunday we look there. The whole day, they fed we decide now. They say, okay, July 27, the very members of Parliament tell us say, NACRA now, NIN now, all the bad thing the way they inside now, 30% this and that, all the non-puller. They don't pass the law, but them bad thing the way they inside the law, all the people go vote without the NIN. We all believe. No, so we all believe. Now, the registration don't start. What will I find out? September 3rd, with all the Nambara will take place, we still encourage you to come on, do, come, tawa. They don't want to make una vote. Why make not want to vote? Now see where protests happen, them come hip fet. Begin they run after people there, kill Evangelist Samson, begin hold people and they kill them, arrest them. Tell now we don't know most people and then a prison, a cell. Which made them do this so that way registration come, go begin the worry about una way they not scatter na Abacha Street. Na Dove Court and other place there were not scatter una people and then na cell then they go court. Na that una for the member. That they want me could remember. So people are afraid for go register. Do not be expect say this group of people away they come out say they go register. Go come on and do wait and see una now they say, yeah. So na so. So na find out say 3 days now. You know, if you find all the centers who don't investigate, all the centers then from Freetown to put local to Lunsa, Tego, Makeni, all sides where in the register right now. No registration center, no day in 1 day we register up to 70 or some day up to 50 people. We don't see evidence of some then 3 days there are 25 people that register. Some day they're not able to register at all. They say the machine they know they work. The computer they not plenty. No center know they work don't you say they get 2-3 computer. Now one computer, if the computer did it, either the computer know they come on, the battery know they work, this know they work, this know they work. So me want for tell you first say before we come for explain you and say why make them do this, we would have to understand. Now for tell you say no to the computer then force we then talk say na 2,000 computer no more alone. These people then take money we get for do with the money we then take say for buy computer then. Now over $8.5 million. More than the money past $8.5 million. Now you then take dollars not only own dollar. That is over 85 billion in the old money. 85 billion, I don't know now the new money because I don't know if this new money is still the function till now. But I want for even read to now the company where then give on the 29th April, then we don't bid, then do bidding first. For say they want company we go supply them, then call the contract notice of intent for the award of contract for the design, the supply, installation, configuration, support and maintenance of biometric voter identification and update software, fingerprint scanner, laptop computers, software packages and ICT accessories. So which means all them things the way they need for register. Then we don't give a company money, give the contract for one company for buy all them here. Don't forget headache. Now 29 April 2022, then they award the contract. 29 April, May 29, 1 month, June 29. So like 3 months, 4 months ago now, almost we'll say, almost more than 100 days of this, therefore don't get all thing. More than 3 months ago. And the amount, the proposed contract amount is $8,597,055. $8,597,055, United States dollars. Then give. And the company will give this contract, they call it Infinity information communication technology and general merchandise. This we talk about separately. When you check this company, you will find out in a company we get the relationship with Fatima Bio and Mada Bio. That are different in force. But what you want for highlight to the people in Naya, say not this one great company never been bido. Okay. Inside this letter, we then give this company, then tell the other people that we've been about Marcy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 company them that have been bid for this contract. We they advertise and they say they want somebody waiting for hire. 13 company there. Inside the 13 company, 12 day when a saloon, all a saloon company. 1 day when an international company will be bid for this from Ghana. So I will read the companies and name all. One that been Bintex Incorporated Limited, the office at Dundas Street. You get Coinsair Limited, then the own office, the Sheka Stevie Street. You get Futurecom Enterprises, the own office again, the Leicester Road, AA Enterprises, House Street. You get Orchid Ventures Radio Limited, Pademba Road, the office day. Amsoft Technologies and Innovations Radio Limited, Pademba Road themselves. Gladiators Technology and General Services Radio Limited, then the main Motor Road, Freetown. Action Consortium, then a One Johnson Drive, Aberdeen. Then Steps Trading, then they say Office Care of Office World Group. Then Battle Street, the office day. They get you Memory Masters, Sanders Street. Then the international company name, Intelligent Card Production Systems Limited. Then then Ghana, Accra, then Infinity ICT and General Merchandise with an old railway line, Aberdeen. Or old railway line, Freetown. I don't know if it's an old railway line by the APC office area. Larubasa, then the last one, the list, Larubasa Investment. I don't care. Then I don't care. Then so, but all the company, now the one way second to last company were reading the way the old railway line. Then they give the company, then they give the contract. So in the letter where they give the contract, and read the letter now, they write to the other people because when I all bid, get. Then go tell them for inform us, say get and release what they give. So in the letter now, they write say we hereby announce our intent to award the aforementioned contract to the undermentioned company for having been evaluated as the lowest responsive bidder in accordance with the criteria stated in the bidding document. Okay, so basically, this executive secretary of the Electoral Commission, in name now William Ado Davies, he write, I get the document in front of me. Okay, he say then give Infinity the contract because the contracting amount, the value of the contract already within neck been planned for spend at $8,597,055. So then give Infinity Information Communication Technology and General Merchandise that they win the contract because according to the Electoral Commission, in the letter where they write 29 April 2022, say that they get the lowest bid. And they can't show now, they can't return back. The other companies almost in bid. I don't call the names about show now all the amount. I already return the one the way we them bid.
Yeah.
So in the bid, because when you bid back, bid opening for design, supply, installation, configuration, support. So all this technical thing, charger, the software, the computer, the now, this and that, all nine them pay for this money. So which means small mistake self. You don't forget yourself. They say light no day, solar no day, this and that. Because I will read back other letter for telling us apart from this money, then pay other money again for buy generator and solar. Wait for the charge them in a separate one. But what I want to say, the lowest bidder in this tune, where the lowest company will bid the lowest. Now 5 million. We then bid. The one of the companies that will get the lowest bid. He bid for 5 million. He said we will supply all them TIA neck need for $5,800,700. The other company he say, then if you take this contract, In fact, the 8 million small, therefore they will only able to supply them here for $9,091,850. The other one, they say the $9,614,300 and then go able for give. Then go able to take the contract for. The other one, say if they get the contract, now $8,922,147. Now, Infinity will then give the contract. In say, if they get the contract, they will provide the services for $7,475,700. Then another company will bid. In say, if they get $7,106,626. So I don't go read all the some of the 11 million on the 6, but we have already seen two companies that way them young bid lesser.
Yes. Exactly.
Than the company who they talk about now. One, this first lowest one first, that's the $7,106,626. They get another one with a $5,800,700. Other one than this, if we lower than this, but I just want to stop now. But then they left the 5.8 million. They left the 7.1 million. They said they don't choose the company. We bid say in a $7.4 million winner Infinity. The question here, the argument or the reason advanced by the Electoral Commission for the award of the contract for the supply of the technology and the software what we need for carry out the registration is rigged. Corruption there inside first. The reason not support the reason when they advance, they not support the evidence not support the reason that's advanced. And I want for make I just read this contract number. It is NEC DMVR ICB G 2022-0063. Okay. So now I don't see how they award the contract. And by when I get the contract, I don't say they don't pay money. They don't pay money. Make I just read to and I say.
Chino, sorry, can you read out the contract number again, please?
Oh, okay. You want me to repeat the big number. By the way, Cashbox and the people who listen to me, we're going to publish these documents all at the African Express website. Right. Make it available to the world. But I read the entire thing. The title, the contract is a contract for the name of the contract is contract for the award. For the design, supply, installation, configuration, support, and maintenance of biometric voter identification and update software, fingerprint scanner, laptop computers, software packages, and ICT accessories. The bid reference number is NEC DMVR ICB G 2022-0063. And in this letter of awarding the contract to Infinity ICT and General Merchandise is signed by William Ado Davies, the current Executive Secretary of the Electoral Commission of Sierra Leone. I don't know if you get that. That's sufficient.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, so now we don't see say they award the contract to them, right? So money, basically all the small problems they encounter now regarding technology, regarding whether neck computer will go off, not supposed to go off. Not to say money not been there. So we get sufficient amount of money. The question first we'll go for ask the Electoral Commission and why we flag this, why we think it's important, are the fact that the award of the contract, they're going to tell we why, because the reason we then give us is that make them choose Infinity, the people that give the contract say that they bid the lowest, we don't know say that they're not true. Now, lie. So they still owe an explanation regarding the circumstances under which they choose the company. But the most important thing I want for read now, and then I mean 29 April. So on the 14th of June, for say they not award only the contract to. But now we can find out, say, when we check investigate, we can't find out, say, even though they claim, say, now they are the contract value is over 8.5 million, and they were bid for 7.4 million or thereabout, over 7 million. The payment here, the actual contract price, so which means we then give this company, Infinity, ICT, and General Merchandise, they not even get the capacity for provide the service. Then Sept decide for subcontract another company we then call Laxton, Laxton. Laxton is supposed to be an English company that produces biometrification. Until the England cash box, we will talk about this aside and you can check.
Yeah.
But basically, yeah, if you put my computer Sept, Laxton, you might see it will prop up. But this is the thing. So we find out, say, whereas Infinity ICT and General Merchandise was awarded the contract, the services in question were provided by a different company, which goes by the name of Laxton. We will come to that in a separate thing. But for me, I cannot delay the people in the conversation. In the invoice, there's an invoice in front of me here as I talk so, where Laxton, on behalf of Infinity ICT and General Merchandise, sent an invoice to the Electoral Commission of Sierra Leone, dated 14th June 2022. And June passed so. Who said in the request say they need 10% advance payment for the design, supply, installation, configuration, support, and maintenance of biometric voters identification and update software, fingerprint scanner, laptop computers, software packages, and ICT accessories. So they request 10%. And the procurement number is here. NEC, so I remember, DMVR, ICB, G, 20220063. You remember? The procurement or contract number. So the total contract price on the invoice of Laxton, which is billed to the Electoral Commission of Sierra Leone on behalf of Infinity, who were the principal company that was granted the contract for the supply of these registration equipment, computers, and other kinds of accessories what we need for carry out registration without headache, is worth $2,247,100. $2,247,100. So the total amount of money basically with this other now Juma business now we talk about. So one company within a salon, in 14 or 13 other companies they say they bid and compete for whether we get the contract for supply them compete at the we broke so where they say broke. We will come and never talk about whether these computers are actually supplied or not.
Thank you.
The kind of computers now that are being used.
Thank you.
Okay, but I want to establish it. I want to show for the Juman business now. Yeah. So you get 13 businessmen there or company there in a salon, including one Ghanaian company. They all say that they compete for whether for provide we computer, then scanner, fingerprint machine, all the way we need where the Electoral Commission need for do this registration. When they don't compete, then go select one company. And this contract now, anybody get the Electoral Commission says they're willing to spend over $8.5 million. So all man compete. The other one say, give me the contract, I take out for $5 million, this and that, then compete. The first lie force where the Electoral Commission don't lie, but we the people of Salon, then select Infinity, ICT, and General Merchandise because I can get the lowest bid. The bidding document they should say a lie. We can get two other companies and we've been bid lower. If they may tell you say because they submit and say they're good and get good quality that are different, they say then pick them because they get the lowest amount of money where they propose. The letter, they don't writer on the writer. So
very quickly, talk the connection between Laxton and Infinity is what I want to ask very quickly. You can postpone it if you want.
No, that I can't do now. So when
I just want to ask a quick question. Why Laxton go request for 10% directly to ECSL where it be say the contract awarded to Infinity?
Exactly, because they go for wire the money go England.
Thank you.
Because They get for wire the money, they get for wire the money, they get for transfer the money, get for end up in England. So that are different. You are basically asking me a question that is part of our investigation, but for people that are different domain of financial reporting now. But I get the importance. I know say you as a finance man now, you bring them begin work, I go to the bank there, you don't begin inside the money, they come inside the bank in England, they go inside the house there, So I know that question. But yeah.
The Wi-Fi, so. Wanna bear with me. The Wi-Fi disconnection, Dana Highway. Wanna bear with me.
When you take the contract, the price we take out for at 2,247,000. But I remember when I see the Juma business, so there's the bidding force where Infinity $5 million difference there between Infinity and proposed bidding and the value of the contract from the invoice of Laxton. But anyway, on the 14th of June, now this company Laxton asks Electoral Commission so they pay for 10%, and that 10% are $224,710. Then give the invoice on the 14th. Okay, what is happy way Electoral Commission received the invoice on the 14th. Now I'll tell you now. When they receive the invoice on the 14th, then prepare write letter to the bank governor. That's a bit of bank governor will say he lost money no more. He said the money just the loss. Now William Ado Davis, executive secretary, he write letter to Kerfala Kalon, the bank governor. And the letter we write is dated on the 15th of June. So he received the invoice on the 14th, today, tomorrow. That they write letter, the 15th of June, 2022, to the bank governor. He tell the bank governor, say, make the bank governor, he say, transfer, the subject of the letter, transfer from National Electoral Commission current account to Infinity Information Communication Technology and General Merchandise Limited account. The letter read, please transfer the sum of $213,963 United States dollars only and debit the National Electoral Commission current account number 01120084440 with the Leon's equivalent. The payment should be made to the undermentioned bank detail below. He say make them make the payment to this bank, Infinity Information Communication Technology and General Merchandise Limited, then US dollar account, and the bank account then at Sierra Leone Commercial Bank, Sheikha Stephen Street. The account number where them transfer this money to, that's 003 001 100 165 412 164. As at the time we make this audio right now, this bank account is still active. And then put the letter. The purpose for which this money was paid is 10% advance payment for design, supply, configuration, support, and maintenance of biometric voter identification and update software, fingerprint scanner, laptops, computers, computer software packages, and ICT accessories for 2023 general elections. They put out incomplete for 2023 general elections. Now, don't hear it? So the letter, William Ado Davis, Executive Secretary, signer on one side. Then the letter is countersigned by Agnes Tarawali, Director of Finance of the Electoral Commission. The bank processed this letter, or they received the letter and processed this payment on the 16th of June, 2022 at 12:15 something. 12:15 something. How they gonna PM? 12.
Yeah, PM.
15 PM saloon time. That's when this transaction processed in the then transfer from the Bank of Saloon to. So what do they talk now for us? Number one, these people take 3 times more the money will then be required for do this bidding for do this computer there. Number two, them, the way the company where they choose for us, not even the company, they're not still tell you the reason why they choose this company, but we know in the process of the African Express business, we know the reason. Because the company is connected and tied to higher members of the administration. Okay? Leading members of the BO regime that then get affiliation with this company. I will read more details about this in the African Express publication. But which I want for add now, again, that the facts say, let that money they no more. So I see that 10%, we then pay on the 16th of June. On the 29th of June, then how many days that? Between that 15 to 07? Would I will check the quick?
16.
Well, 15 days, because you've been saying the original date when the transfer is the 14th of June, so the 29th is 15 days. 15 days. In the 15 days again, 29 June, yeah.
They also transfer again at Sierra Leone Commercial Bank again. Basically, sorry, the wire to Standard Chartered Bank, South Africa. Then transfer from Freetown to the Standard Chartered Bank, South Africa. Again, basically, when you can transfer money, sometimes it passes through South Africa, sometimes it passes through. It depends on the wire code where they use. But we also notice, or the evidence in front of me here points to the fact that apart from that money that was paid into the account in Freetown, a total of $409,294.58 US dollars was also paid to Infinity Information Communication Technology and General Merchandise. And this is a transfer of funds in respect of 20% additional payment for the design, supply, configuration, support, and maintenance of biometric voter identification, and update software, a fingerprint scanner, I don't know now, software packages and ICT accessories for 2023 general elections by order of the Electoral Commission for Sierra Leone, ECSL. So basically on the 29th of July, Electoral Commission also tell the bank governor, say, make them send another $409,294.58 for this computer. Then be this same election computer business now. And we for the computer there. The scanner now, so they put the fingerprint camera there, all the small accessories, then they all now that they pay for so. So the second payment, the first payment will be already done also. The second one then pay at 29 July.
Right.
$409,294.58. And this one we then transfer the money itself. It went through the Standard Chartered Bank wire route in South Africa. They then pay. I don't want to continue for the read numbers and all of this, but the basic point that I'm trying to make here is that we not enter into these technical problems with the National Electoral Commission process of registration because of lack of money, lack of the capacity for get the required equipment for conduct electoral registration in a way that should make it easy and feasible. In the first place, why this thing it upset me? In 2012, me have been part of the delegation of Sierra Leoneans who travel representing different groups of organizations as Salon for go Belgium, for go inspect the biometric, the first biometric system where Salon may begin to introduce registration. At the time, we opposed the biometric system, say we will not be satisfied, this and that. And at the time again, the Electoral Commission the company where they begin, be a Belgian company for register and print voter ID cards. Biometric voter, if I look at the voter ID card, who we use 2012, now one of the most standard one. And when they bid, the European company will win the contract. Now Belgium, they then call it Zetis. And part of the delegation, if I remember very well, the current Internal Affairs Minister, Pandanoa, was a member of that delegation representing the SLPP at the time, selected by Madaview directly. That in England, they appoint directly from England because they say he got knowledge of computer.
Wow.
The other person who been a part of that delegation was, I think, now editor George Temple, They represent UDM at the time, representing Mohammed Bangura in small party. Another person from the APC at the time who was part of that delegation was Claude Commander, a member of parliament representing the APC from Waterloo, end of that Newton area in Waterloo. I was part of that delegation. In fact, most of the people in that delegation never wanted me part of it because I was the most critical. The person who criticized the electoral arrangement at every bit of it, from the registration. In fact, when they register, we've been in Sirondi, we go to call, we do parallel registration. Where anybody can register, we ask your name, that's the extent to which we police the registration process in 2012. In the elections of 2012, where Nkrumah been compete for the second term, they scrutinized the election, myself and other opposition parties and other people that we criticized the electoral with surveillance and we in the register self, they take note. We did at the place that we get with your agent there. We take note of anybody can register. They say no, we hamburg the registration process, but discussion happened. They say okay, not a problem. We made sure we got a transparent register. Even when they say they don't select this Belgian company, they go make the thing in Belgium, we suspect say no. We forgo the back, we go see. Then fly we 21, that the UNDP pay for we. I was the last person in the delegation. In fact, the opposition, I know they become too critical of it. They say if I go there, I will scatter the meeting. They felt fatty, but finally, the UN Sept, they insisted. I mean, the last person way, they send him passport, go Abidjan for put me visa, where we come. But I mean, they found out 3 hours before they fly. They tell them give me ticket. Then I'll tell you the extent. This is why they talk so. You ask APC people, them, we've been there Alpha Kanu in your office, or a lot of people. In fact, Suri Fofana, we are currently the board chairman of NACRA now, where they appointed there. This man will say them for sack Lara Tilopias for where they inspect matter during corruption. The same person right up. Yeah. Yes. The same Suri Fofana, in fact, now right now in newspaper say they don't pull me from the delegation, they don't deny because Inga diplomatic sources way talk say they don't agree to include me. Later I told him it was a lie because the UN insisted I have to go. But when we reached now Belgium again, I pulled me on a voter slip where they don't register me with. I said, make them demonstrate. Them type and we check, see, say yes, that one single register. That will verify the entire register. There was no double registration. Now, my own, I think all of civil society lady, who I don't forget her name, was there representing civil society. Now, we then put at the screen, demonstrate. I insisted that they have to demonstrate, check the database. The company we then choose, this is one of the most excellent security printing firm. A company where they print passports, then they charge of printing passports, visa stickers, national identification numbers, driver's license for the Belgian government, and including some other European governments. Now the company where they print voter identification for Congo, for different other countries, including Abidjan and other places.
Wow.
ZETS. This was the company I was selected to produce the biometric register for the elections of 2012 under the APC. And at the time, Naya as somebody would be a vociferous, hardcore critic of the APC at the time. I mean, experience I talk so. In fact, we all got certificates for going to Belgium. We not only check first, before we go first, we check with your own biometric. We make sure that the company go show you what they do for us. We went and found they were even printing passports and visa stickers. And we say Belgium visa stickers, you're talking about European standard because of Schengen visa. Mm-hmm. Now, from 2012 to now, what you will expect is that if we don't get higher standard if we don't be, because 10 years later, we have a situation where with the kind of a conduct registration, computers are broken, cameras cannot work, electricity is a problem. The reason is simple. It is not because of lack of money, lack of experience, or lack of lessons or foundation. Now the deliberate intention of the politicians, both in the opposition and the ruling party, we decide to therefore prevent Sierra Leoneans from exercising their right to vote. And part of the reason, because these people are damn corrupt. Mm-hmm. They thief money for travel. Even in the election now, the money was already to us. So the election, maybe for get right for vote, and they thief the money back from the election. Make the contract with for what? They add the contracting money 3 times. Lord. Then pay half, and they don't get the capacity. Now you see, the Juman business where they do and the contract business end up now. We can't get now Apart from the bad plan we then get for register, they also thief the money for register. So 3 things I want to say up front. Wouldn't this justify? It proves what we said here on before July 1, towards the end of July, I think it was July 24, 25, around the last week of June, where we tell una say, una members of parliament, they don't gang up for give Madabio second time in exchange because they say get their own 2028 agenda. They know who Madabio in corruption. They want to Madabio come out, they inherit and left Amai go free with these killings and everything don't happen. Then decide say now the only way for do and for prevent una not for able for vote. Even when they try to do that, they still take for money back on the election business. So if the members of parliament want to give Madabio second term, therefore just come on and announce say, you know what, we don't left Madabio might continue for 10 years. We don't wish I could take over. So they're not for thief with money and stress and pretend say. But I could tell you I say 2 things. The National Electoral Commission or Electoral Commission of Sierra Leone for explaining give us how the money select Infinity, this ICT company. For what you happy with the money we then give? How much did they take away? And how did they select the company? Then a question for the Anti-Corruption Commission. And also now a question that the parliamentarians and all of we were concerned about the country and finances for take on. Legitimate question. The second thing, how with all this money they say that 2,000 computers and buy, and we don't get any evidence that these people actually buy computers. From what we find out now, they just went and took the NACRA computers for go NACRA the equipment for go register, because what they are trying to do, even the so-called census not ever happen. Now the NACRA registration they do, now they announce as census. Now that they want for just so this is why they went to NACRA and took NACRA computers. Then even the NCRA, for the part of registration, NCRA is simple register. The Electoral Commission are the only institution authorized by the Constitution and the secondary legislation for organized elections. Now, they need a law for making them use the NCRA and the NIN as a provision for voter registration. We talk say no, we don't want that. As citizens who tell Parliament say no, Parliament tell we say they don't pass the law. So if the Electoral Commission they conduct the election now, don't forget about the corruption, the financial corruption. Then they conduct the election now without following the law. Say they need NCRA. If I don't go to NCRA for the part of the process.
Right.
That means apart from just stealing from money, this corruption we talk about, they are also conducting their activities in violation of the Constitution. Which means the current process of registration in itself is not in conformity with the Constitution and the secondary legislation we operationalize the National Electoral Commission or Electoral Commission of Sierra Leone as they will want them, as they will want to be called. So in this case, apart from the corruption, the illegality of the process, the illegal procedures and processes introduced by the Electoral Commission in itself violates the Constitution, which means NEC is acting as illegally. They should be arrested. As we talk now, law enforcement agencies from Parliament to everybody responsible for the enforcement of law, supposed to hold the Chief Electoral Commissioner and all the other staff there as subjects of an investigation for violating the Constitution and these other violations, accompanying violations. Now, that is an act of illegality. We violate the Constitution.
Absolutely.
It's a criminal act. It's an illegal action.
It's tampering.
Parliamentarians. So we need to know if it be say where Parliament talk 2 things here. The first question is, since they wanted a new law to allow them to carry out this kind of way of organizing election, then we don't ask say they need law for introduce NIN and NCRA into the electoral process. And Parliament tell we say they're not been given that law, they're not been given that right for do so. So on which basis, under which law, is the Electoral Commission conducting the current electoral process, imposing the NIN, imposing the NCRA into the electoral arrangement? There's no law as far as we know, except if you be say parliamentarians lied to the people of Sierra Leone, because there's always been a lie, say they're not to the intention of the law that. Pass it be say, the Parliament lies, say they not pass this law, but they been passed and say and tell Electoral Commission say go ahead. So both Parliament and the Electoral Commission need to come to the people and explain who has violated the law. Because if Parliament actually passed that law without amending the Constitution, that means the Parliament commit treason. If the Electoral Commission decide for go ahead with the election without having the electoral mandate or the constitutional mandate for do that, that means they are not only violating the constitution, they are committing treason. Yep. They don't decide for do an activity that impliedly by action they are tampering with a sacred provision of the constitution, which means it's equivalent of overthrowing the constitution. Yep. It's an act of treason. So both Parliament and the Electoral Commission, unfortunately, we lawyered and all, I don't know, the bar association, everybody is silent in the face of this gross violation of the constitutional right of citizens. The interesting part of that, the only people that will complain about this are the members of Parliament and the politicians and the people who are highly connected in society. Now they don't go register, they don't get problem. Then the treat say everything is okay, and just small technical problem. But the ordinary people, ordinary citizens, the majority of the 90% of people who turned up in Freetown, in Makeni, and other parts of the north or northwest way open, they don't go 3 days and able for register. Not because they don't want for register, they want for register. Always we talk about voter apathy, we talk about people who participate in the electoral process. We have an unprecedented interest among majority of Sierra Leoneans for use them vote as an answer to their problems. And here we have politicians suppressing them and preventing them. And this will be into our cash box. Remember, we talked this day. Voter suppression is a plan of the government. Absolutely. This was unfolding.
We just want to make one point quickly when you mentioned the Bar Association. I mean, I'll take you back to, this Augustine Sorisege Maragai, a lawyer, was talking to the Labrada na hot seat, and it tells me about the status of the Bar Association. Apparently, not even apparently, the anti-corruption boss, we of course part of the bar, now make a resolution before they use for change the executive every year. They make a resolution where every member make a resolution say they for change it to 2 years. And this not in way they're supposed to do a vote on. But when they happen, using power, they don't do any vote on it. So if the Bar Association can act like this within their organization, what do we expect from these guys anymore? Sorry, carry on, I just say for make this point.
Yeah, I think they're a valid point. So these are the problems we don't get at the country. When we talk about state capture, it's not just at the level of institutions. It's at the level of all the social organizations in the country, including what we call larger civil society, in this case, political parties, and its associations. The most interesting thing for me is the fact that when protests they happen, or when Fatima Biu they married, it was live on national television, and other private television covered live the wedding, the second wedding of the president, where over 10 billion leones of taxpayers' money was spent. That was televised live, okay, and a number of other things, but we have not seen the same kind of television time devoted to the registration of voters, including highlighting the challenges that has come about as a consequence of this. So it's not just a failure of the political leaders, it's a combined collective effort by interest groups in the country for work against the national interest. That's the sad part. No independent media, no independent political parties, no independent actors. This is not to say there is no genuine opposition politicians in the country. They are under siege, they are under attack. We will not say we don't divide the opposition into two parts. An opposition within the opposition, which is the opposition that is in bed with the ruling party at night. In daytime, they pretend they are helpless and feeble politicians. They present Madabio as this monstrous leader. When even in wartime, we will get Johnny Paul Kurumade, we get this military government, and nobody was so scared. And here they are under a civilian democracy. After we've had elections since 1996 to now, they cannot even allow the people the right to register, to vote. We don't talk if Madabio believes in a good leader. It don't really work for the people of Sierra Leone. He record excellent. Why is the president afraid to conduct a free and fair election? why would I want to bring law and difficulty for make sure the people not register? How can you organize an election when the only people you want to participate in the election is people you think are your supporters in both?
You don't give the people a surplus beyond. You don't give the people a beyond waiting.
Please say you're the best president.
Exactly.
You don't pass everybody. You don't walk past an Eskroma. You don't perform past Madam. You don't perform past JS Stephen Tijan Kaba, right up to Milty Magai, or from Milty Magai take on to you. You're the best. Why are you afraid of elections? Allow the people the opportunity for register and freely vote. Make the people choose you if you're not the best. Do not use the law and the institutions for frustrate people and from registering to participate in election. Do not use the court, as you don't use the court now for dismantle the opposition. Do not use the court to prevent other people who you think are genuine opposition politicians. We don't tell people that. I repeat again what I've been saying at this platform. And what I also don't say, that Madabio has come to the conclusion that they able to win election in a free and fair election. The only way we say they win election, we go get second term now for thief the election. And we talk back say, they able for thief the election if the opposition not help for thief the election. And we talk say the only way the opposition go thief the election are two pattern, two method. For bring law and technique and difficulty we go make us. So say people are fed up, they say, we not go register. We don't left. Now that you want to do. That's one. The second way we want for do again, now for use the court for accuse anybody when say this politician, if he contest against me, he could beat me by election. If he get a case, they use the case say we don't convict you, we don't pull you for. So they want exclusion. But they want choose for the opposition, would I go bid and presidential candidate. And that presidential candidate they will choose the presidential candidate will just do no more for like a small poster.
Right.
For the funny. That's like when they don't agree. We then can't
exactly.
He don't rogue the election, he win.
Yes.
Then they will say, the opposition they will say, they don't rogue win, he go to court. So basically, he want to get a second term by putting forward a proxy candidate of his own choice. And this will summarize two things. We say voter suppression is one method, candidate exclusion is the other method. These are two known ways of rigging an election in advance of the election.
Absolutely.
Now we don't first talk and we don't explain you that this they can. Now we don't begin see. So we are not need for surprise. We say we don't reach through. We don't already be don't tell us about this.
Exactly.
They made a stay to the talk. Now here we are. We don't come out 3 days now for register or not for register. We don't show that the money more than $8.5 million. And that is not alone. These people even spend. Now, I might read this other letter before I transfer the conversation to Una again, so that I know I don't talk.
Oh, no, you're good. You're good. Keep going.
Yeah.
So the say Naya again. There's a company called, Infinity Solar. This Infinity Solar basically sent an invoice on May 31, 2022. And then they asked the payment should be due in 2 weeks' time, which is June 15, 2022. And then this invoice is billed to the National Electoral Commission for Sierra Leone. And for the attention of the Executive Secretary, Mr. William Ado Davis. So they asked for 30% advance payment for the supply and delivery of portable, rechargeable, solar-powered generator and accessories. And the price for this one, now $1,285,750 United States dollars. So 30% when they asked for, it'll be $385,725. So in fact, this one, they asked, they made them transfer the money, made them pay the money to, if you're in the wire, the money for New York. Basically, the correspondent bank is the Federal Reserve Bank. That through that way they come in favor of.
And that is the most corrupt bank in America, Chino, by the way, just so you know. But a conversation for another day.
Yeah. Oh really?
United Bank for Africa, PLC.
Oh wow.
New York branch. Basically, here we have the correspondent SWIFT code.
China.
And
is this
Rockefeller Plaza? But I just say
right.
Why I read this? I'm telling you, say even generator, rechargeable solar powered generator and accessories, which means we should not
procured.
Procurement. We're not going to get this idea of the computer
power, no the lights, no the yes.
Pass the good land
Yes.
by the small tiger generator then now for light.
Yes.
For light the generator. Somebody,
Right.
I said three of people we observe the election report to me say in 3 centers, person go big one, the people at the area that they heavy money for buying fuel.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Now Shell, a center in Shell, around Shell area, the man say they don't get better budget. People that they contribute money for good land generator and buy fuel so that they go register. That will tell you the determination of Sierra Leoneans to register. Everybody want to register. Those who are qualified to register, first-time voters. It is so difficult to get African people to be interested in the electoral process. And here we have 90 to 95% interest in electoral participation.
Yeah.
And
Oh, yeah.
we have the collective alliance of elite groups, political parties, civil society, and business people trying very hard for prevent the people from direct participation in democracy. And now the very people about who sit on the talk about protest, call them protesters as terrorists. The very people they are calling terrorists in Freetown, in Kamakwe, in Makeni, in Putloko came out to register to vote.
Yeah.
They still cannot allow them to vote. When they come out to protest that they want democracy, they want accountability, they want relief from economic hardship, from the insensitivity of the Badabio regime and its corruption, they are still not allowed the opportunity to cast the vote, to register so they can cast the vote. Which kind of country this? You dey thief money, you dey thief people and lives, you dey thief people and right for vote. Anyway.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, you can.
Sorry, Ibrahim.
Go ahead.
Do you want to come in?
More than that.
No,
in a
Kashi, come in,
situation
come
where
in.
the government steals money, steals people's lives, and then comes to the point of stealing people's right to vote, constitutional right to vote. And nobody is offended by that among the politicians who claim they represent these people. My goodness.
China with all the banks, them, the disbursement and the transfers of fund to like London and America, you can clearly see that these people, Ibrahim Comrade, we all know, always done the talk about how these guys are kind of like doing some civilized money laundering. In fact, like the Laxton China, but maybe we could talk about the background. I searched just know about them, but I see one Laxton Electricals. I'm not sure whether it's that one. And if it is, we will drill into it because what I've seen there are a few dodgy things into it. But let me double check first if not the one and the way I see. But we will talk about it in the background and try to give people more information about this Laxton company. And everything you've just said here about the solar, like this Infinity solar, it looks like I said that 2 Infinity we get. The one Infinity, then the other one we like now for the Infinity solar. So we need to go check all of these things, and I guarantee you, drilling down into this, you will see some connected people within the government. I'm sure, because that's the pattern that I come today. And we will drill into it and give people enough information, especially about Laxton, in the next couple of days.
Absolutely, and that's the subpoena power where these members of parliament again don't give this government because they know say like how we talk about the investigations that we get for camp because it's easy, especially at this part of the world, Kashi. Laxton, I would go ask for them document and then we want time. We want to see how we have procured them computers there. We shall go buy them. We follow the trail. Every transaction has a receipt. It is easy. So for the people, Kashi, this message is about an hour 12 minutes long, and Chino, maybe you go agree with me. We don't doubt the capacity of Sierra Leoneans and go understand these things. But Sierra Leoneans them, we are now left them message when the theatrics no more. Na boku ala jump boku talk nonsense inside there. Lie. Them bobo they camp can talk after we. Then Titi and camp can talk after we. We they expect everybody that Mami bien Togolili Bombaliko Nadugu bien Southeast Yanda. They're all able to understand this message now. So this is a deep message. Waiting China don't do so, the African Express. Now for sure, now for see, these guys, not for same money, no deal for long they suffer. When I look the way the registration they go, cash box and China and communicator. The Southeast, it's fine, it's quiet, there is no problems. Everybody's on time, everything is rosy and beautiful. But when we come to the northwestern part of the country, Now so confusion. They didn't come on time. They don't respect the timing of the people. But again, this is the plan. I see Cheriko Kogo on Twitter. They posting picture. I see it take after former president Anes Kuruma. Where Anes Kuruma himself go to a registration center. I take 2-3 picture. You know, this is the thing with these guys. Instead of Cheriko Kogo, wait for them to travel across the country. They go registration center to registration center for go and make sure say people are able to register. If not, they go take picture. They show it at Twitter. Like for say, don't go do a responsibility. They go on Twitter like for say don't show we are responsible for civil registration and all of that and all these things. Now they go say, hey, Ibrahim left the boy. And they tell now what he for do as the leader of the opposition. When you see videos on social media of people crying and they complain how when they register, we foresee Cheriko taking cameras, travel across the country. As the leader of the opposition, he get the power. Nobody know the blocker. Nobody know go stop him. You don't listen where African Express. Tell nobody tell when I say it was part of the people during the days of the APC when they go against the APC and they really go after the fact that they want to see the process how they go. Say they fly all they can go to Belgium for go see the registration itself. The card I look like I did. Waiting do because of former President Kuruma was a very democratic leader. But they like today's the SLPP. People wait for asking critical questions there, not to do them. Some people they wanna listen to this audio. If you get for listen to them, I don't begin to when they take pen and paper, when I write send here down. We didn't message there, I don't tell you for the cam no more, listen, it pass now why you go bust at the other side. Yalla say, hey, the channel by get the information there, channel by get the number there. Una for right send there. Una say for talk about them things there. Let the members of parliament they know say. So God and his day will not go sit down again and sell we. We don't go down again that 1991 rebel war. When I swear they cut people and cut people and foot them, please below man and belly, cut their head them. When I see all and thing and they we don't want to reach that side again. That is where we at. So people are so yeah, una listen to this message here. But you know, Kashi, I don't know if Cameron want get anything for closer. Let people alone mix the message. Yeah. But come in.
Me say we want close. I'm not answer we last talk we say not to forgo snap from my commodity. I think I want tell a few people them we are don't see when our politicians who are don't see then they're gonna pull in center. In as much as the members of parliament who say they raise concern, it's fine for this concern. But the concern we go see now in parliament for can discuss them.
Thank you.
In as much as we the only tell purpose where you do good, what say you do well for go, like constituency, you make video, you allow to confirm to be don't talk say, then they use the NIN by the economic conditions. You know, I appreciate that effort there. I see the mayor self go, even interview my music, don't spend the whole day. I see Dan self na kono. Instead they do very well. The one they want see that they also want see the picture on social media.
Right.
And you see President Kuruma say come out register the interview 1 or 2 times. Because leadership is by example. If you want to lead the people them, you have to follow the process. Because this registration here, who they talk about so today we don't talk about for many years, they don't come with African Express for 3-4 months. If you mean take them with honesty, they're not just that they fast in the MP them because I talk that they what they for do again. What they for do again.
Yes.
Therefore, stop the bad governance. And who they get a lot for do. If you not me, I come out today. If you are not the authority, you come out, nobody force you. Me want to see man if you are not a bad person, we can see I need to work. Nobody not time me. If I decide no one they say they are all, they go sack me by force because I go sack me. So you the MP, if you say this thing bad, we come out after 3 months, then they declare vacants. All man say you not agree for join. So now they work up in the tell them. So we encourage each and every other MP. We go na constituency, we don't talk can cancel or go na use na word. We go help for make sure say this information can because if you na MP you give video, nobody will beat you, nobody will say police will arrest you because they work in the do as member of parliament, if you na cancel or work in the do. So you make it more easier. And when they do, I'm like, you see, we appreciate people for follow na do na effort, but AKK don't do well for go na constituency. It's very good. You go there participate, you see the problem, you begin to counter on a parliament. Can't talk now, so you what's in the man be talking true. The job is facing to true. No put like when I come when I still get chance for correct time because we know say the people them in the history, but I don't the channel will be witness. I know one day say this guy is people and get for come for the station. One day. This time you know say the people are angry, the people want change. Now just the one day for make the thing for affect the change and no one do. When at the House of Parliament, Ibrahim, Khadija Towa Parable today say if you prepare them born picky, if you prepare on that, if your man left. If you take care of the Peking, the APC party, the main opposition party, not get an executive. We get members of parliament when elected people represent the party, that's the responsibility. So once each and every MP go out their constituency, when I go see the problem, I go to the parliament now say, well, this registration we for gear for 2 months safe. This if we be safe, not 6 months safe, not next year safe me. Else will get the proper thing because the figure of the people want vote, let them allow them for vote. But abuse don't pass themselves. Una allow them to register. Although they not allow to reduce centers in the south, una increase in the east, but still people say they will go 10 miles for go register because they want vote. They want to exercise the franchise. So now the MPs them, we have responsibility for say we don't try and talk about MP then Nigeria with the startup. We have come back to Parliament. We have try for adjustments here. And I know for be a condition for register. NCR for be a condition for register. Registration different from NI and NCR. The NCR for everybody. Registration for other than eligible voters them. Now Kono don't say that not provide a birth certificate. Imagine birth certificate done for register. So now can now take responsibility back Ibrahim.
Absolutely, comrade. You know, Salon people, again, we don't make this message here too long past side on this. So, comrade, go to home some very important points there. Members of Parliament, yes, for do the video them for showing what's happening on the ground. Now, one, but now as members of Parliament, when I get supreme legislative powers, when I get power for going on a Parliament and call Section 86, subsection 2 of the 1991 Constitution, give Honorable Cherikoko the power for someone a meeting for Parliament, if for present that informal letter then out to Abbas Mundu, say within an Abbas Mundu for answer that requested within the next 14 days, for them to get an emergency sitting, for them to can talk about the issues there where you don't see people. Not going to Twitter, we're not in Twitter. Cherikoko, go talk to the people, come out, travel across the country, go to the registration centers them. If not the West safe, let them see you there. Do video, talk about the constraints of the people. My man, these things are simple. You are not a demigod, you are just a servant of the people. Work for the people. Summon this meeting. Learn go to Parliament and go present all of these flaws on I don't see, especially in the northwestern part of the country. The people are determined, and mark my words, every Sierra Leonean that is eligible to vote will be registered before this registration process comes to an end. We know they allow this registration process, so no matter what you do Parliament, no matter what President Biodu, we are not going to let with people that were supposed for vote, they don't vote. They have a constitutional right to vote. Like how you get right for go register, that's when they get right for register and then go vote. So every citizen will qualify when they turn 18 before June 20th to June 24th. Every citizen is going to be 18 years old. They vote and then go register this registration for them for vote in the next elections. So they are well on another hand. So members of Parliament, when I get to act together, when they see una people in constraint, African Express don't come now against Salon people. They don't lay the evidence for una. Like I said, the African Express is like a B-52 bomber, the biggest bombing jet you ever think of where America gets. And the payload is so heavy. Now I can sweep all side for we. This fetch is not easy for members of Parliament them. 30 days they for take this man in case them. We don't present. Let Cherikoko go to Parliament say, so African Express say, local report on this. We won't forget answers on this. Not hold the government accountable. Salon people, go left this one. If you get for listening this message again and again, everything we don't say for the past years, will they be in Parliament? This is why we be the fet for una. Now we are the fet for, not for we. For una and for a better country tomorrow. So let's continue for advocate and speak up about these things. Thank you everybody who go left and on a bye bye. Have a nice evening, a nice day.